Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Today I'm just going to go through my top like 5 crafty tools that I use on almost every card, and just give a little bit of an explanation on each one, and I'll try to do them from like cheapest to most expensive. And so let's just get started. So my first crafty tool that I like to have is this embellishment wand. This is not the Studio Katia one because Simon was always out of it when I wanted to order. So I did get this one on Amazon. It's pretty much the same thing. This one comes with a bonus tips, which I've not even used, and I've had this thing for well over a year. I just like wipe the end off because this is a wax tip. And it's just good for picking up like your embellishments. These are just some glitter paper hearts that I cut out the other day, so you can pick them up, put them on your card. You can also use these for gems and pearls and stuff, which you've seen me use in other videos. So I always keep it in this container just to like keep it clean so that this stays dust free as much as possible. And then this pointy end here is good for just like moving things around. So if it's not positioned perfectly, say you want this heart to be more centered in like this square, then you would just like kind of shift it a bit. So this is actually like something I use on almost every card because I like to put embellishments on my cards. The next thing I have is these titanium scissors. These ones I did get off on Amazon. These are non-stick scissors, and they are great for cutting your foam tape, regular double-sided tape and everything. And it does it without sticking. So this is my Big Mama foam tape. I'll just cut up this so you can see that when you cut it, there's no glue residue on it, and it cuts very smoothly, and it doesn't get all gunked up. If I was originally using these scissors all the time, and these ones just like get glue all over them, and then you have to clean them, or they stick to them. These are good if you want to cut long strips of foam tape as well. I can show you that. I've also done this in other videos, but if you're working on a shaker card and you want to cut this down to a different width, then like that cut like perfectly, no struggles. It does stick a little bit when you're cutting a bit longer, but it's not like detrimental or anything. It just sticks a little bit. Pick up your scissors and keep going, and there's no sticky residue on it. They stay clean. And these are a must-have if you're going to be using foam tapes for sure. The next thing is probably going to be a scoreboard. I use this a lot because I make my own card bases. This is kind of like a bonus tool. This one's a Teflon bone folder. This one is the one that comes with the tool, which you can absolutely use no problem. But you do notice sometimes that it leaves a bit of a sheen to the edge of the cardstock. I might have a piece here to try it. I'll just use this little piece. It's a card I messed up the other day, so so if you're, let's say, scoring this and then folding, I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera, but you can kind of see that there's a bit of a shine, and you can kind of see like markings on it. But if you use the Teflon bone folder, you don't get those marks. There's no shine to it or anything. So there's a little bit of shine here, no shine here, and it just makes a better, crisper line than this one. Like if I unfold them, you can see how this one, it kind of ripples the cardstock, whereas this one makes it a smooth line. You can also use this for doing different techniques, so you can like score lines into your cardstock at like, this is 1/2 inch intervals, 1/4 inch, and then you can use this as like a textured background, either this way or this way. And so this tool can be used for like a lot of things. Jennifer McGuire actually has a really good video for using your scoreboard for different techniques and stuff, so I'll probably link that in the description down below because that's where I learned most of my techniques, is her videos. Okay, and then the next tool is the Tim Holtz Midi Trimmer. This isn't the newest one that came out, which is I think even smaller. But this one's great. I keep it on my table at all times. When I'm cutting small pieces of paper, this is a 6 by I think 8.5. It'll fit like a full sheet of paper, but only widthwise. You can't cut it lengthwise at the 11.5. But this is really great for cutting card mats and everything, and I just like to keep it on hand for cutting sentiment strips as well. It's just really good, so I don't have to move to the other side of my room where my big Fiskars 12 by 12 trimmer is. Usually I use that one for cutting down my card bases. I cut 12 by 12 paper down to 8 by 8 so that I can make my own envelopes with the envelope punch board. So I'll actually include that in this video as well. I wasn't planning on to. So you're gonna get 5 plus some bonus tools today. And I'll go through that one next. So this is the We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board. I use this for making most of my envelopes for my cards because I like to make coordinating envelopes for things. So this is like an envelope I made out of some pattern paper. And the measurements on this board aren't the best. I think I was watching another video. Sorry, I was watching a video, and like because the card size is 4.5 by 5.5 because it goes in 1/2 inch increments. It's not for a 4 1/4 by 5.5. So it tells you to cut an 8 and an 1/8 by an 1/8 and an 1/8 square paper for this. If I can find the video, I'll link it below, but they said to cut it at an 8 by 8, and then instead of scoring it at 3 3/4, you'll score it at 3.5, which is why I have this area marked here. And I also have some measurements here that I came up with for doing 3 1/4 by 3 7/8 cards. So if you have, it's like a Polaroid die. I don't remember if it was Lawn Fawn or MFT. I'll find it and link it below. I think it's a Lawn Fawn die, but it cuts like a little Polaroid, and so here it cuts like a little Polaroid image so that you can make it look like a photo. And then I did an 8 by 8 border around it, so I just figured out what the dimensions of that were, and then I tried some trial and error to come up with an envelope size for it. So I have a mini envelope here. So it's, if you want those measurements, it's a 3 1/4 by 3 7/8 inch card, finished. You're going to cut your paper at 6 1/4 by 6 1/4, and then you're going to start scoring at the 3 3/8. And then this note here, right side up patterns need to face this way. When you're cutting your paper, this paper's not a good example because it's non-directional. But if you're wanting your pattern to face like up this way, or face the right way up when your card is, when the envelope's like this, then you want to, one thing, cut your pattern paper, like if you're cutting a 12 by 12 down to this 8 by 8, you want to cut it on the bias in the middle of the paper. So instead of just cutting 4 inches and 4 inches off, you'll actually want to cut it a section out of the paper like this. I'm probably out of far frame here. So you'll want to cut a section of the paper like this. So you're cutting like a diamond in the paper, and then when you put that in, you want the right side up to either be facing this side or this side. Like I put it just so that the right side up faces this end. But you could do either way because these will be your long sides of your card, so top and bottom. And then you can follow the directions on how to create the card base. So I use this all the time. And then my Misti, this is the standard size version. There's a smaller version you can get, the mini Misti. And I think there's a bigger one that does like 12 by 12. This is a good size for me. I use it pretty much every card. Anytime I'm stamping, I'm using this because I don't trust myself to make the perfect stamp every time. So this was something I invested in early on when I started card making. I was using like acrylic blocks. So like this is one I just keep mounted on here because this is my logo that I put on the back of all my cards. but I would be using acrylic blocks all the time. And then the Midi Misti is great because you guys know I like to double stamp my images, so I'll stamp them, color them, and stamp them again to bring back those solid black lines, because coloring with alcohol markers tends to bleed those out a little bit and it fades them. So I like to go over them again just to make them more crisp. So this tool, it's a little bit more pricey. You can find different stamp positioners, so you don't need to have the Misti. There's multiple ones out there. I think even Walmart sells one from Hampton Art that is pretty much similar to this for fairly cheap, like a third of the price even. So if I can find it, I'll link that one below as well as this one. But this is like an invaluable tool to me, and I've had it for probably at least 5 to 5.5 years. I've been card making since 2017, so for the last 6 years. So this is important to have for me, and I think it really does help out new stampers as well, because you'll be more confident with your stamping. You can definitely use the acrylic blocks, no problem, but this tool is my favorite. And that's it for today. I was gonna add something else, but I think I'll leave that for a separate video. And I'm going to actually go and film another crafty haul for you guys. So I thank you again for joining me. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your comments on any of these tools down below. If you have any questions, you can ask me some questions and I'll get back to you when I can. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye.